Hello, it's Monday the 18th of November. That means it's the 19th day of this Mercury retrograde with just tomorrow to go, and then Mercury stations direct in 16 degrees 6 minutes Scorpio on Wednesday the 20th of November. Now after that we've got a couple of weeks of post-shadow, but it's all about working out after that. As I've said so many times, I'm sure you don't want me to go over all that again. The moon is in Leo, still a good time to be noticed, to be out there getting your ideas heard, getting yourself seen, and trying to make the best case for yourself as possible, I would strongly suggest. It's really a positive thing, Leo, although it can get a bit me with some people, but that's not really what it's about when the moon's in Leo. That is for people where Leo is a sun sign, and the sun is kind of much more about what controls us and what we try to control if we're controlling, and it's always best not to be controlling, and lots of Leos aren't, it's a fact. The moon is 66.5% full right this minute as I speak, and third quarter is actually coming in tomorrow, and that is when the moon reaches 50% full on her way down, and that's going to be 21:10 UK time, so 8 hours before that Pacific, 5 hours before that Eastern, 9 hours ahead of that in New Zealand. It travels right across the world, but it's the same moon, that we're all looking up at, and something I really enjoy about putting these forecasts on the internet is the way that people from all different parts of the world get involved. My tablet is trying to shut down. I'm not going to allow that if I can possibly help it. Right, so today with the moon in Leo and Mercury very nearly not retrograde, but it is one of the more intense times just as Mercury is slowing down, which she is now. The moon is square Mercury. Strong emotions, misunderstandings are possible. Really all the things you might say about Mercury retrograde itself, actually, rather intensified. So where we communicate, we need to communicate as sensitively as we can. I mean, sometimes, of course, things need to be said, but it wouldn't be a bad thing to put off saying those things until Wednesday or even slightly after Wednesday, because then the moon will be kind of waning, so there'll be less lunar energy. Well, it's waning now, but it'll be waning even more then. And during that waning phase of the moon, it's a time of consolidation, completion, almost like a void of course. I only say almost because it is a different thing, but it's not a great time to launch anything new or anything that's going to attract a lot of new action into your life during that waning phase. Home, hearth, what kind of makes you you, what makes you tick, those are the things to be looking at, and maybe family, friends. That kind of area of thought is what's needed. But those misunderstandings really are possible today, and think about travel and transport as well. Wherever we're thinking about the esoteric, in other words, things that aren't the nuts and bolts of day-to-day existence, but are more the nuts and bolts of where our minds go, that could be difficult to think about today. It's just the way it's going, really. Now, the moon is square Mercury, and Mercury is opposite Uranus, suggesting sudden changes, maybe awkward situations. Some people are going to be inflexible. Something's happened to my tablet. It keeps trying to close down. And that is a typical Mercury thing, because it's something to do with communication. However, there's always something happy going on, and something popular as well, I was going to say, and I think that's reasonably true. Venus is conjunct Jupiter, so confidence, generosity, feelings of prosperity even, dare I say, are strongly indicated. Now, Mars is void in Libra. Now that is quite a tricky one, but Mars is really very close now to entering Scorpio, and that is going to be another mishmash of kind of, I wouldn't say too crazy, and I wouldn't let it spoil our joy at the end of Mercury retrograde, but really Mars getting into Scorpio does kind of hype up the thing of people seeing a situation as one thing or the other, and if it's not slightly, if it's just slightly not going your way, some people are likely to get pretty fed up about that and think that actually the cards are stacked against them. In fact, let's have another Rush lyric, because I do enjoy those. So Mars is entering Scorpio. That's 11:40 p.m. On the Pacific coast tonight. Eastern, it's 2:40 a.m. tomorrow, so that's going to be 7:40 a.m. tomorrow in UK. So we don't need to worry about that just yet, but it is the applying aspect. It is what's coming into being. so we need to think about that. The moon is actually going to enter Virgo tomorrow, but that's tomorrow, and we'll let tomorrow take care of itself. Okay, thanks very much for watching. A thumbs up, please, if you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave me a comment, because it's really good to know how this plays out into people's lives. I do enjoy reading them. It takes me a while to get back sometimes, and I must admit, it's not that I'm absolutely snowed under with comments, not by a long way, but I'm always doing readings, that kind of thing, and some things need to be done with the energy of the moment. And so leave me a comment. I will most certainly get back to you. Excuse me, as soon as I can. Right, must do this before breakfast in future. There's my thing for myself. Meanwhile, yeah, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you again very soon. Peace.